Hi guys, welcome to Tim's Garage in association with Cowlick Flicks and proudly sponsored by Raytune and New Age Auto Parts. In this video we show you how to drop the subframe Audi MPS 6. It's a big job. So, big question is, why would you drop this thing out of your car, besides it being fun? Well, if you've got springs, so you can see this has got springs there, sitting at the back. Yellow could be king springs, or it could be part of an aftermarket spring package, which is pretty cool. It's got a sway bar there, which is pretty fun. So this gives you access to things like the sway bar, your springs. This is like your tension. This has got, these are adjustable. So if you look in there, these springs are adjustable there with your locks up and down, to do with, because they sit on there, that would be to do with ride height. The other springs which sit in your car, like that one. You can get a view of that in there. That's to do with the how hard or soft the ride is. We've got your sway bar here. This one's got a cracked CV boot down there. You can tell it's cracked because gunk flies everywhere. We're going to fix that while this is out. But gives you access to that sway bar. We can put that on some stiffer settings, which we're going to do on this job, and it also gives you access to rear diff mount, which is there. The diff mount and the huge top diff mount there. That thing is just a monster of a mount. You can see how good that is. So lots of stuff that we can do while we're back here. And it would be a good idea to do everything while this is out, because dropping this out isn't the easiest job. Exhaust comes off, lots comes off. So this is how you do it anyway. This is why we're dropping the subframe on this car. Hear that knock? I'm not sure if you can pick that up, but that knock is, just under that kind of movement. Imagine that while you're travelling. So we're going to drop the subframe off this, and we believe that that's the rear diff mount, and so we've got a replacement one there. This one's super chunky with extra mounting points to firm that right up. We believe that's what's broken on this car, so we're going to get into that and see what else we can find while we're under there. So far what we've done is jack up the car. We've taken the back wheels off. I've jacked up the car all the way around, and if you can sort of see the angle, I've got the back of the car fairly high. I want as much clearance under there as possible, so I've made sure I've got that way up in the air. Now I'm just going to remove the back seat. On the MPS 6, it is doable. It's these clips up here. That is the way that you open that. So let me get a better shot for you. There it is. That is the clip that opens the back seat on this. So obviously I've taken off all of the trimming. That's fairly straightforward, and there's little tabs and that kind of stuff, so get rid of those, and then we will undo those clips to lower the back seat down, and that will help us get some access to some bolts. I've been following like a series of online forums and discussions and stuff like that for this. So once again, as most of my videos, often it's the first time I've ever done it, and so I have actually removed the entire padding of the back seat. All that's done is, for the guy that I'm doing this for, means that I get to clean the underneath of his back seat. I didn't need to do that. I just read the instructions a bit wrong. So you do tilt this seat forward. You will need to take off these little clear plates if you've never done them before. They just pull off. They've got these tabs. You can see them there. They just pull off. You need to be firm, but it sounds weird. Firm but gentle at the same time. So I wouldn't be prying them with screwdrivers or anything. You just use your hands. That'll clip off. That'll free up this part, which is your little side cushion pillar there. Quite soft, very nice. There's a bolt, 14mm socket. You need to undo that one. Fits down into there. And then up the top, there is this little latch. So this latch, when you push it to the side, that will open, and then that connects to the top of that. So if you want to, when you disconnect that, don't go reefing on it, because it actually won't come undone. Now what that gives us access to is, in here is a clip. Here it is, just there. So if we're looking at the outside, seat belt, there's a loom. We follow it down, and there is just a couple of little wires. I've got red and green connect to this clip. This clip follows a cable that then runs into the car, into the base of the car, and that will then come out into the chassis down, I believe, here on the outside of the car. And so this is like a speed kind of sensor thing. So the danger would be, if I didn't do this early on in the piece, I could drop this quite heavy assembly when that comes time, and that would just reef that off, and you're going to have all sorts of issues in the future with that. So we're going to do that. I believe it's the same both sides, so we're going to make sure that we do that.
And now remove your brakes. Undo the back of the brakes using a 14mm socket, and then tie your brake calipers up with either some zip clips or a cable tie so they hang out of the way but not attached to the subframe.
But under the car now, just following a handbrake or emergency brake, whatever you want to call it. Australia we call it handbrake. There she goes. There's a 12mm socket, and basically I'm just making sure, I'm just going to leave that bolt in there, so it came from. I'm just making sure all of our all of these lines, like brake lines and everything else, when this drops down, nothing's connected to it, because I just want to make sure that when this comes down, everything is free of it. So I'm just going to undo our drive shaft now. 4 bolts. Just seeing a few like cords and stuff that are running around up there. I'm not exactly sure where they're going, so I'm gonna take off some of our stuff down here. I've just done followed right underneath here is what I'm assuming is like an overflow sort of tank for your fuel system, like a returns to here. It's kind of like a surge thing, and then that goes back in the tank. There's some lines that are attached to the subframe, and so I've just found some plastic clips. All I'd encourage you to do is just to follow the lines with your hand, and if anything's attached to the big part of the subframe, remove it. There's a clip I probably didn't need to remove here. There's just one other plastic clip. So now we're about to start really getting into some bigger bolts. We've got two little 12s there. Just a bit of an idea. Here's your shock strut if you pull out the bolts. So if you follow that around, you'll see these two little bolts there. They're on 12, and then we've got this part up here, part of the subframe, being held up at the front of that with 17mm heads on those. So we're going to undo those, then we'll do the other side. I'm going to put some, because we're getting into it, I've got some jacks that I just want to make sure that I don't want bits of steel to hit me in the face. So I'm going to start putting these around just to stop things from twisting on me. Bit of safety first, and yeah, we'll go from there. Okay, we've got a couple more bolts to go. So where we're at is I've got some jacks in place, a couple of engine axle stands sitting there ready to go. We're about to undo that bolt just there on both sides.
Once you've undone that bolt, you'll see that there is another similar bolt just in front of the wheel. You need to undo that as well, and then do the same on the other side. Then you need to remove your exhaust, and you're ready to drop it down.
Drive shaft's almost out, but everything seems to be going really well. Our right side seems to be coming out a little bit quicker. There we go. That was exactly what I was hoping for. That's very good. So now, I'll drop that down to 0. Same on the other side. That's not even touching there. That's free. Nothing's touching it. Brakes are free. Excellent. For some reason still leaning this side a bit harder than the other. That's alright. We can deal with that. And I'll drop it down just a little bit more. Connect it all this. One more hose. Pin, line up there. Same on the other side. Let's check that.
side of this has actually gone really well. It's just popped up straight away. What we've done is basically tried to get the back lifted up as evenly as possible, but you can see it's not. It's lopsided. The right hand side's down a lot further than the left. Where's my hand? There we go. I just jacked up the very front of the rear diff, and that has just pushed this side up beautifully. So while this side's up, I'm actually going to anchor that really well, and while that's anchored and bolted up and that's all sweet, that means I can then get the other side aligned and angled. So we're going for keeps though. So I'm going to Loctite and everything on this one. I did put a bit of Loctite on the up a bit higher, but I think I was a bit ambitious with that. But, this one looks like it is the money. So it is absolutely excellent. I'm just going to use we're just using a drill. For this we're not using the ratchet just because it's, as always, middle of the night. It's getting late, so I do like my neighbours. Wouldn't mind keeping them for a bit longer, so we'll think of them. This shock tower, a couple of little brackets that got snapped off that we're going to, while we're down here working our way through, we're going to either zip tie up, connect to something, make sure they're out of the way. Here we go. So these tabs just click on like that. Perfect. There's a blue one here to do it. That was a pain. No, but we're getting there. All these are, yeah, actually going really well, to be honest, which is cool. Makes me happy. Makes life a bit easier. Clean that thing up. Yeah, so it's all going really well. Just got to get that on a larger socket than what I'm using. It's good. Drive shaft's in. It's all working nicely. Makes me happy. This is bolted in nicely. Makes me happy. Everyone's Loctited and done beautifully. Yeah, so it's all happening tonight. Now this is definitely not by the book. This CV did not want to come out. This drive shaft did not want to come out, so I actually removed the entire wheel assembly. And so putting that back in was a little bit of fun. But once that's in, we are ready to finish this job up. We're going to put the brakes back on, button them up, put the exhaust back on, get all of our sensors and stuff plumbed back in, and we're good to go. And so that's how you remove this subframe from the Mazda 6 MPS. It's fairly involved. It's a fairly major job. But as you can see, it's really worthwhile if you can do all these other little jobs at once. What I didn't say in this video is when you remove your exhaust, you don't need to remove it all. You need to remove it from about the sort of the mid-pipe back, or the last section of that, so that you can drop the subframe down. You can see actually in this picture the exhaust hangers that are on that. And so you need to take that off. But other than that, just follow the instructions, have a look online, see if you can find some other guides as well as this one, but I hope that this gives you the confidence to have a go. I'd also encourage you to have a go with a mate. Having a friend with you may make a huge difference to this job, because it is quite a lot of work to do on your own. Ask me how I know. But enjoy, and thanks for watching Tim's Garage. Please subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Thanks. Big job.
Sweet pics, drop the subframe, I say sweet pics. Huh?